Did reading the Odyssey change my perspective of potentially attending 2026 film The Odyssey? In short, yes, it did. Today is Tuesday, 9 June 2026, and here I, Tanis, Shearers of Seattle, evaluate two of my approaches I came up with for myself in March 2026 for seeing 2026 film The Odyssey in movie theaters around its communicated release date of 17 July 2026, taking into account my recent second reading of The Odyssey by Homer. I'd read it before. Then I read it again the second time, finished yesterday, and I had put some stuff out there, and it covers some food stuffs in here, and so I'm coming back and evaluating. I had already read the Iliad and found goat cheese in there, which is something I'd put out there. So this is vague, so let me just kind of go. So in March 2026, I put out a couple of videos, and I was like, I could do like a spending a day at the cinema and get like a boozy peanut butter shake. Is kind of an option, and then that was like a drink in a bigger day at the cinema kind of approach. And then there was another one where I did like, I could go get like fish and chips, fried fish and chips, and take it and eat it before, and then have like butter and goat cheese after, like stuff they had when they were making this seafaring journey. A lot of sea, but there's some land. These soldiers, Battle of Troy, so there's kind of army, and then but it's soldiers. Greece has a bunch of different islands and stuff, so making their way on water. And so in the book, and so those are the two things. And so there was wine, but alcohol other than that, they were referred to like a nectar. And I was like, so perhaps not the peanut butter milkshake. The nuts they reference are acorns, so not peanuts. So here we go. Fine dining, feasts. So this is, I took notes when I read. So there were feasts included meats, including lamb, bull entrails and thigh bones, ox and pig thigh bones, boar back / fat, lamb. Cooked by roasting / fire, including spits and skewers. Wine diluted with water, wine in goblets, water for washing hands, bread, honey, acorns. Journey / food for sustenance included barley and goat. General foods included cheese, like lamb, goat cheese. Consistency with the Iliad, milk, lamb, goat. Consistency with the Iliad. Lamb meat, goat meat, even goat sausage. Sheep shepherded and goats pastured. They had no or minimal, perhaps minimal, or it is survival, kind of last resort, seafood / fish. So I have the taste of my ancient Greek ancestors, and clearly I was adopted. I just decided to keep that for this video. There was a tur and a bird hunted for fish, so kind of had, fish were present in the sea, but it wasn't necessarily one that they ate, and the animals ate, and kind of like they shared with other living organisms, so to speak. Ambrosia, nectar in welcome / God setting, so like welcoming people would be ambrosia and nectar. Grown in orchards / vineyards, pears, pomegranates, apples, figs, olives, grapes. There were lotos, LOTOS, flowers and fruit. Human meat, including bone marrow. Last resort / survival implied for humans included cattle, thigh bones, fat innards, fish, birds. So they were less emphasized. So there was, I think, I guess the ox and bull would be like wild cattle, and then they had cattle. So they had game. Hunted wild animals for meat included deer, goats, bunny rabbits. I might put bull and ox and deer. Okay. All right. So tie with my life story and YouTube production, ? Return to feta cheese, ? My idea for goat cheese was a relative late comer, March 2026, but it was a prediction about the past. So do I go to 2 showings and do one at each? Do I get one for before or after? Do I choose one? So I have a few relevant videos, so making it relevant for my production. So of everything I put out there, the thing I got correct was goat cheese. So essentially I'm like, the cheese is the thing I predicted about the past. So let's work with that. So I ate a box of feta cheese, a Greek cheese, while playing a computer game set at a Greek cultural center, including ancient Greeks and gods in Greece. A Greek cultural center in Greece. Nancy drew Labyrinth of Lies as part of one of my sacred Saturdays in June 2025. So last resort slash survival implied. So in the book, cattle is different. It is a high ceremony food that the soldiers encounter and know not to touch unless survival slash last resort. When they do eat it, they react intensely to the meat. So feta of cheese of cow's milk would be different in the Odyssey context than goat milk cheese. So high ceremony, question mark, like I should try this out for a home communion for my god Hades. And that's actually something I'm thinking about for like goat cheese too. So it's like, maybe we should do, so since my god is Hades and Hades is talked about in here, and the realm of Hades is a desirable final resting place, including for like the main character slash his family slash author kind of thing. It's like, well, since I share that, perhaps I should like do a home communion with feta cheese. And that would actually kind of rhyme with the context of like cow in the book, so to speak. And then I was like, well, I might not do that at the theater, or I could think of something. If nothing else, I could link to that video if I choose feta cheese. So that one makes the cut as to like additional work slash training. I ate a French brie cheese made of goat milk in February 2024. This is out for poor sportsmanship on the part of the French slash modern Olympic Games. The text even includes swimming in the realm of slash close relation to the Olympic Games, ancient Greek Olympic Games, Mount Olympus. However, the modern slash Olympic Games slash the French attribute swimming to the British in like the 1800s AD. The true origins were like 2,600 years earlier than at the latest. So so no to this because the French do not provide proper attribution in an appropriate context. Haha. So essentially goat cheese, French brie goat milk cheese is out because of poor sportsmanship. So then, but I'll still, if I have space to link to that video, kind of thing. So then the third relevant video I have is I ate goat cheese while playing a computer game set in an island setting. Greece has a bunch of little islands. And the island setting for the game, though, was New Zealand, which was Nancy Drew, the Shattered Medallion. As part of one of my sacred Saturdays in October 2025. So they had pastured slash human raised and cared for goats as well as wild goats. Wild goats would be a good nod to Greek in origin goat slash goat cheese. How would that translate to goat milk cheese options at the store for me? So the wild goat's take is a good one for differentiating from goat cheese of my other ethnicities, such as Norway, which also has goat cheese, thousands of years, kind of part of its culture and kind of who it is. So perhaps for culture preservation, and so Norway kind of more is towards the domestic, whereas Greece has like domestic and wild. And so I was like, well, how could I do that for culture preservation? What perhaps could I do? And I was like, perhaps for culture preservation, eat it with my fingers. Right? Like if it's wild game meat, and then I'll be like, I'm wild with the goat cheese, like eat it with my fingers. So it's like that one I might do a home communion for as well. So there's potential training. So the update is, I think the battle has come down to feta and or goat cheese, and I've got some work to do. And so yes, reading it did help me in terms of focusing in on what I might want to pair with the movie. I do have another book that I hope to start here quickly. I think so the text I read was like, was it PDF form? And then I might have printed some pages out. So it wasn't book form, but I think it was the Robert Fagel's text. So this is, or a translation by him. So this might be a return to that. It's in 1996, 1997, and I read the Odyssey previously in 2011, approximately February 2011. So I have my ideas now, additional training, and then kind of like be like, do I still kind of stand by these choices in reading the Odyssey by Homer a third time? So there we go. Did reading the Odyssey change my perspective of potentially attending 2026 film The Odyssey? Yes, and I got some work to do.